Hi, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Kristen and my channel is 2 English Acres. Today we're going to make some chicken pot pie. I usually like to be out in the garden, especially now that I can plant, but we have a yucky storm rolling in. It was so sunny, it was really nice, and it got really dark. I love a good thunderstorm, just as long as we don't lose power while I'm cooking. Anyway, so yesterday I threw a couple chickens, a whole roaster and some leg quarters. I threw them in the crock pot. They cooked all day. Last night I tore them up, so that'll take some of the load off today. Also, when I make, thunder. When I make my pie crust, I do them in bulk and I throw them in the freezer. I'm not gonna show that today, how to do the crust. If you're interested, leave me a comment down below. I'll be happy to put that together. It's a recipe from the America's Test Kitchen, and it's kind of cool because we get to use vodka. So anyway, let's get started. So here are my pie crusts. I label them so I know that they go together. This one I made with I think it's a white wheat, and this one was just a white, and I just wrap them in parchment and throw them in the freezer. It's a top and a bottom, so I am letting those thaw. They're almost there. Once they get kind of soft, I'll throw them in the fridge so they don't get too soft. Let's get started on our veggies. I'm going to make 2 pot pies, so I'm going to double this recipe. These are carrots from my garden last year and green beans. I'm going to put green beans in instead of peas. Normally I would do peas, but I want to finish up these green beans. I don't like freezer beans unless they go in the pot pie. That's the only way I'll eat it. And then I'm just going to cut up a couple stalks of celery, add to it. I'm going to add all my veg to the pot, and then I'm going to bring that to a boil. Yeah, it's coming down. It's good for the garden. We've had a lot of rain this week though. So it looks like a lot of butter. I know. It calls for, I think, even more. I'm going to start it with this amount, and this is a whole medium onion chopped. I'm going to just sweat these off until they're translucent, and then I'm going to add a few cloves of garlic. You always want to wait till the end to add your garlic because garlic burns quick. So get these going, and then while these are going, you can work on your garlic. The onions are becoming nice and soft and translucent, so I'm going to add in my garlic. Let that cook down. That becomes so fragrant. Something peaceful about cooking in a thunderstorm. You can hear the thunder just rumbling in the distance. Oh, it smells good. All right. I think I should have mentioned, let your veg boil for about 10-12 minutes, let them get soft. The recipe says to boil your chicken. Don't boil your chicken if you cook your chicken ahead of time in the crock pot. I think that's a huge time saver. And I don't like boiled chicken anyhow. Boiled chicken, to me, it doesn't have any flavor. Okay, 2 our onions and butter. Now I'm not going to give you all the measurements because, again, I'm doing a double recipe. I will put the recipe in the comments or down below. So I'm going to put in my flour. that off for a second. It'll get real thick and pasty. I did add just a little more knob of butter. Okay, and then to that, I've got some thyme and pepper. I like pink salt. We want 2 teaspoons. Well, okay, for a double recipe, 2 teaspoons of salt. Aldi carries a really great organic chicken broth. They have a, it's very reasonably priced. So I'm going to add my chicken broth. The recipe called for half and half. I use grass-fed butter, which is nice and thick and golden. American butter is watered down. I believe it's like 30% is watered down. So I like to use grass-fed butter. And then also we get our milk from a dairy farm. And it's a whole milk. It's good fat for you. I'm going to bring this to a nice simmer, and it's going to get thick. While we're waiting for this to thicken up down here, I'm going to start on the pie crust, show you how that's done. I like to use this mat. One, it helps the pie crust, the dough, from sticking to the counter. Also, I know that I have got 9-inch pie crust or pie plates. Can you believe I picked up these Pyrex dishes for $2 a piece at the Salvation Army, and they're fluted. This will be great in the freezer. This is starting to get a little bit warm on me because the kitchen's so warm. It's a humid, humid day. Trying not to touch it. I'm not a pie crust aficionado by any means. I've just done it a few times. When you're working this down in here, be really careful, gentle. So we just want to kind of lift it and push it down in there.
It's a lot of rain.
So our mixture is getting nice and thick, and to my vegetables, I'm going to add the chicken that I tore up last night. Yeah, it's funny, you don't get a whole lot when you do it that way. You seem to get more when you do chicken breast, but there's a lot more flavor in thighs and legs. So I'm going to add the chicken to the green beans, and also my pie crust right here that we just did. I'm going to toss that in the fridge to get it nice and cold. And I'm also going to work on my second one. Okay, I've got my two pie crusts with plates. They're chilling in the fridge. The gravy is nice and thick, and I mixed the chicken with the veg. Now I just need to roll out the tops of the pies. Also, I put the oven on to 425. I haven't decided if I'm going to bake both of these yet because one of them is going to be for dinner tomorrow night, and I might, you know what, it's going to be hot tomorrow. I'm going to bake them both tonight. So I'm going to put these together real quick. I mentioned in a previous video about my dog. Look at, she's always there. She's always watching me. It's so funny. I also learned with this white wheat, it doesn't hold together as good as the white. The second pie crust that I was doing was falling apart. But it is hot in here. Got the oven on. So that will do it. Oh my goodness. See, I'm failing at rolling out a pie crust. This is why I'm not going to be baking this summer. Take a fork, poke some holes in the bottom of your crust so it doesn't bubble up. I'm going to put half of the vegetable and the chicken mixture in the bottom of this. I wish I would have done more veg. And I used purple carrots. So it's actually changing things purple. It's bizarre. I might actually dump some peas in there. You can dump frozen peas in. It's probably about half. Just a few. Mike loves frozen peas. Or Mike loves peas. He doesn't like them frozen. Get tongue-tied when I'm on here. I'm going to take some of our mixture and pour it over. It smells so good. I can smell the thyme. I feel like this is going to melt my pie. Now I'm going to get my top on. That was a mess. This is just falling apart. It's so hot in this kitchen. So this is a video about what not to do. I might have better luck with pie crust number 2. I'm not going to lift it up and move it because that just, when I do that, I'm touching it too much and it's falling apart on me. This kitchen is so hot right now because of this oven. I have a 6-burner extra large convection oven, and even though the fan is off right now, there is a fan that still runs to evenly heat. And this oven is hot. If I had known how hot this oven was going to make my house without having, I mean, the plan was always to get air, but plans change. We put this kitchen in, and this kitchen was a lot more than we expected to pay. We did custom cabinets, and so I gotta work quick with this. This one was a lot better. This one did not fall apart. I'm gonna make some stab marks. I'm gonna dump in the rest of my chicken and veg. The rest of the gravy. Which smells so good. This recipe is from Sally's Baking Addiction. I have been following her recipes for years. She has the most delicious jumbo blueberry muffin recipe. And when I say delicious, oh, see, this is so warm. Oh, I should have did this recipe yesterday. There, that one worked a little better. And I am just going to pinch together. It's melting though because the chicken gravy on top is so hot. I've always wondered about that, about making this. I am not an expert by any means. But it's a really good chicken pot pie. It might not look pretty, but it is so yummy. I'm a little short over here, but that's okay. Gonna put some slits in the top to let the heat escape. This is so hot. You can see the butter in the dough melting. Last but not least, we're just going to very carefully, without destroying our pie dough, brush on an egg wash. If you could feel how hot it is in my kitchen right now. I am sweating. Ugh. So, pretty soon I'm going to have enough meals in the freezer to where on these humid, yucky, hot days, I'm just going to pull them out and I'm going to use a microwave. I don't care. I'm not a fan of the microwave, but I am in the summer. Whew. This one held up much better. It's still starting to melt, but goodness. I put these pies on a cookie sheet in case they bubbled over. The sheet would collect it. Into the oven it goes. I think it's 32 minutes, but I'll post it on there. Alexa, set the timer for 32 minutes.
32 minutes, starting now.
Ooh, don't make pie, or don't make anything with pie dough. Look at, don't make anything with pie dough when it's humid and hot outside. I just put them in the oven and it's hot in here. Give it about 30 minutes. Now I have one pie crust shield, but I need two. So I'm just gonna tent some foil and put them over so that the pie crust don't burn. Oh man, if you could smell it in here. The pies are done. I started them at 32 minutes. At 20 minutes and I covered them with foil, just tented. And then when the timer went off, they needed 5 more minutes. So 37 minutes and these pies are done. Here we go. Our pies are complete. This one doesn't look the greatest. It is done. I tested them. But they sure smell good, and I'm sure they'll taste good too. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me in my kitchen today. Keeping me busy during the thunderstorm. I decided we're going to have this for dinner tonight because it smells so delicious. And I would hate to have to heat this up in the microwave tomorrow. And the crust will be soggy. Right now it's so crispy. Got a little bit dark right there. But the rest of it looks pretty good. We'll just take that off. Anyway, have a great Memorial Day weekend. And thanks for tuning in. If you like this video, if you can give me a thumbs up and subscribe, it'll help me out a lot. Take care. So I'm waiting for Mike to get home for dinner. And I had to cut a piece. I have to see what it tastes like. That's the best part of cooking, right? I love homemade chicken pot pie. I don't like store-bought, the frozen ones. This crust, it's just so flaky and buttery. Next time I won't add the purple carrots. I planted purple carrots last year. It is dyeing everything. It's really strange. They taste fine, but my chicken's being dyed purple. So, I don't usually eat before Mike gets home, but he's taken a long time, and I just wanted to try a bite. Or two. He's finally home.
Made it.
So I was telling him that I couldn't wait. I had to cut it and have a bite. Because it just smells so good.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell me what you think.
I will.
That's a big bite.
It is.
Oop.
Bit too big, honey. Oh. That's delicious.
Good.
That's a lovely flavour.
And he would tell me if it was too salty or
Too peppery.
or not enough.
I would. It was delicious, darling.
Thank you, honey. See you next time.